REST API Security Best Practices. REST APIs power nearly everything we build today. They're simple, stateless, and use standard HTTP methods, which is exactly why developers love them. But the simplicity and widespread adoption that make REST APIs so popular also make them prime targets for attacks. Let's cover 4 essential practices that help you build powerful and protected REST APIs. For more detail, check out the blog post linked in the description. Number 1. Implement proper token-based authentication. REST stateless design means every request needs independent authentication. Token-based authentication is your solution, typically with JWTs or OAuth 2.0 tokens. Make tokens short-lived. Set expiration times measured in minutes or hours, not days or weeks. Implement refresh token flows so clients can get new access tokens without re-authenticating users constantly. Always transmit tokens over HTTPS with TLS. Never send credentials or tokens over unencrypted connections. Store tokens securely on the client side and implement token revocation so you can invalidate compromised credentials immediately. Include essential claims in your tokens: user identity, permissions, expiration time. Validate these on every request to ensure the token is still valid and the user still has proper authorization. Number 2. Control data exposure in responses. REST endpoints typically return complete resource representations. Control exactly what data gets exposed in responses. Implement response filtering based on user roles and permissions. Different clients should receive different views of the same resource. Use serialization layers that strip sensitive fields automatically. Don't rely on remembering to exclude sensitive data. Build it into your framework. Validate what you are returning. Review API responses for sensitive information. This includes things like internal IDs, system paths, detailed error messages, or personally identifiable information that shouldn't be exposed. If data isn't needed by the client, don't send it. Validate and sanitize all input. Never trust data coming into your REST API. Rigorous input validation prevents common vulnerabilities like SQL injection and cross-site scripting attacks. Validate data types, formats, and ranges for every input. Check that incoming data matches expected types and falls within acceptable values. Reject anything that doesn't meet your defined criteria. Sanitize user input before processing. Remove or encode potentially malicious content. If you're using OpenAPI specifications, leverage them for preliminary validation checks. Verify incoming data matches your schema defined in your spec, but remember, this supplements your application level validation. It doesn't replace it. Number 4, use API gateways for centralized security. API gateways centralize security controls for your REST APIs, making it easier to enforce consistent policies across all endpoints. Implement rate limiting and throttling at the gateway to prevent abuse and denial of service attacks. Control how many requests clients can make and manage throughput to keep your API responsive. Use gateways to enforce authentication and authorization policies consistently. Configure TLS enforcement, request validation, and access controls that apply to every endpoint automatically. Enable comprehensive logging at the gateway level. Capture authentication attempts, authorization failures, and suspicious patterns for both real-time alerting and post-incident analysis. Many API gateway products exist, including native options from cloud providers like AWS API Gateway and Google Cloud. Choose one that fits your infrastructure and configure it securely. In summary, here are the 4 essential practices for REST API security. Proper token authentication, controlled data exposure, input validation and sanitization, centralized API gateway security. Start securing your REST APIs today. Visit StackHawk.com to learn more.